Hi, yogis. Thanks for tuning in today for this gentle yoga class to help strengthen and stretch the spine. I'm Sue, and I will be your guide on this journey today. So just start to settle in, sit up nice and tall, and begin to connect here. Connect with your space and your breath. So if you have some nagging back problems, this sequence, this class, will help to make you feel better, but you will not be cured in one class. So make this a part of your routine a couple of times a week, and over time you may notice that you'll start to feel a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit more mobility. Now we're going to start with Nadi Shodhana breathing. You're going to take your hand and curl in your middle and your ring finger, first finger too as well. And then you'll start to press your thumb against your nose as you exhale through the opposite nostril. Now switch to the other side. So now the pinky presses. Inhale through the opposite nostril and exhale through that same side. At the bottom of your exhale, you'll switch to the other side. Inhale through the opposite nostril. Exhale through that nostril. And then switch to the other side. So keep on breathing here, switching on your exhale breath. This Nadi Shodhana is a nice breath to help you calm the mind and calm the body. Really nice way to begin your yoga practice, just switching on the exhale. Now keep your breaths easy and smooth as you're breathing, as you're switching from nostril to nostril. Nadi Shodhana is also said to help to balance the energy of your body. And we're all looking for a little balance right now, letting go of the chaos and inviting some calm. And you can stick with that Nadi Shodhana breath just a little bit longer, maybe a breath or two more. And then let your hand come back down to rest on the knee or the thigh and just feel the effects in your mind, your body, maybe sitting with a little more peace after that mindful Nadi Shodhana breath. Now we'll start to move a little bit, very gently start to work into the neck and work into the shoulders. So when you feel like the body is ready to move, you'll start to tilt your chin up toward the sky, just enough so you feel a little stretch on the front of your neck. Just a gentle opening to begin with. And then bring your chin toward your chest, still sitting up nice and tall, so chest is up toward the chin. You might rock the head a little bit here, rock it from side to side, just feeling out the neck, the upper back, the shoulders. Allowing the tension to slip away as you rotate your head from right to left. And then come on back through neutral, come back through the center. Lift your chin up so chin is level to the sky. And we'll work a little isometrically here. So bring your right hand up over and around to the opposite side of your head. You're going to pull your head with your hand, and you're going to resist your hand with your head. So there's a little pressing and pulling here. This is a nice way to strengthen your neck muscles. Now don't overdo it, no pain here, absolutely no pain. Now release that side, come to the opposite side. So left arm reaches up and over. You'll pull with your hand and press with your head. So press and pull, sit up really tall as you're doing this. So feel your spine nice and long. Each vertebra one stacked on top of the other, pressing and pulling. And you'll start to release on that side. Now from here, interlace your fingers and then bring your hands behind your head. Press your hands into your head and your head into your hands. Now try to press the elbows back a little bit. You might even feel the chest begin to expand and open, maybe the pecs, maybe you feel a little something in your shoulders. If you like here, you can also look up toward the sky or tilt your chin up, you're still pressing your hands into your head and your head into your hands. So you're really active here. Release that grip. Let your hands come to rest on your knees and just feel the sensations here from that little bit of movement. Now take your fingers to your shoulders and do some great big rolls with your elbows. So you're making circles, just as big circles as you possibly can. And while you're making these circles, start to feel into your shoulders, into your upper back. Notice where you feel the movement in your body. Now you're still sitting upright, always doing your best to sit up. A little bit of core engagement so you can sit up nice and tall. Now reverse that action and start to draw circles in the opposite direction. Does that feel any different than the circles you were doing just a moment ago? As much rotation as you can here, as much movement as you can. Big, big circles. And then come on back to neutral, release. Sit up tall. Now working into eagle arm. So bring your arms out wide and then take your right arm underneath your left, hook at your elbows. You could take the hands to the shoulders, that's one way to open, or you could bring your palms together. Now press your elbows into your chest and your chest into your elbows so you sit up tall. If you want to go a little bit further here, lift your elbows in line with your shoulders and then possibly start to round forward. Elbows could come toward the floor. If you want to here, you can let the head drop. So feel the back, the upper back. Notice that space between your shoulder blades opening up just a little bit. And then as you're ready, if you're rounding forward, you'll come back up. Unwind the arms, so reach up toward the sky, tall through your back. And then bring your arms back again into eagle on the other side. So left arm underneath. You can find the grip that suits your body best. Sit up tall, actively tall. If you've got the eagle arms, you can lift your elbows a little bit and then lean forward if it's right for you. So there are always lots of options everywhere we go in the yoga practice. And you're feeling into your body and you're taking the option that's working best for you today. Maybe that's different than yesterday or even earlier today, but listen to your body. Let your body be your guide. I'm just making suggestions. You're the one who's in charge. I release the eagle arms, reach up toward the sky, and then change. You can let your hands come back down to the floor. Sit up tall, realign your spine. We'll start to do a little side bend here. So take your left hand to the mat. Right hand is at your waist, and then just start to bend over toward the left. So stretch the right side body. You can keep your hand at the waist, or you can reach the arm up and over. Might feel like you're deepening the stretch, or the stretch feels a little bit bigger if you reach up and over. Now gently draw your right shoulder back just enough so it feels like the shoulders are on the same plane. And then reach out through your fingertips. Nice big stretch. Come back through center, both arms reach up, and then take a twist toward the right. So your left hand comes to your right knee. You can even pull a little bit with that left hand on the knee. Your back hand is either on the mat or your low back, and you're lengthening through the spine, always trying to sit up tall. Now take the right hand around to the left knee, so you're crossing your arms, and then do something like a cat roll. So bow the head around the spine. You might even move a little bit through the body. And then when you've had enough of that, you can release the knees and sit up tall. Let's start again to the other side. So right hand on the mat, left hand to your waist, and then just start to lean over. Maybe that left hand starts to reach up and over. Now feel really heavy through your hips, so that left hip stays connected to the earth, stays connected to the mat. And then you feel the stretch crawl all along the left side of your body, all the way up to the fingertips. Now actively reach, actively stretch. ready to release that side bend, reach both arms up toward the sky, and then take your twist to the opposite side. So twist toward the left, right hand comes to the left knee, sit up so tall through the spine. So feel that twist in your spine. Maybe you feel it right through the middle of your spine. You can look behind you, that twists all the way up to your neck if that's comfortable for your neck today. And then reach up toward the sky. Let the opposite arm, so left hand comes to the right knee, cross your arms, and do that little cat roll there. Find some space on the back side. Find some space in your back. Release, come on back through center. Sit up tall, feel all of the work that you've done so far. Now start to come onto your back. Get comfy here. Maybe you want to move a little bit, sway the knees a little side to side, just so you feel like you're adjusted and you're ready to work on your back. And we'll do a little bit of core strengthening, back strengthening in a really safe position, so right here on your back. We're going to start with pelvic tilts. So when you're ready, you'll bring your feet in line with your hips, knees are bent, feet are on the floor, arms beside you. Now think about the little small of your back, and as you exhale, press your low back into the mat, use core muscles, and then as you inhale, release. Now you might put your hands on your belly just to connect with the muscles that are working here. Each exhale breath, you're using those low belly muscles to press the back into the mat. On the inhale, release. Move at your pace. Exhale and press, feel the muscles engage. On your inhale, you're letting go. Now if you feel like your glutes and your hamstrings are doing some work here, mindfully try to isolate those core muscles. Don't let the glutes do the work. Don't let the hamstrings do the work. As you exhale, see if you can connect. Press your belly button toward your spine. Press your low back into the mat. Use those beautiful muscles that are deep inside your body that give you so much strength and stability. You're still moving. Pelvic tilts on the exhale. Releasing completely on your inhale breath. How does your body feel as you move, as you strengthen? Finish up that last pelvic tilt, arms beside you. And then as you're ready, reach the feet up toward the sky. So you could always have one foot on the floor for a little stability if you want. So you can do some rotation here through your ankles. You can bring the heels together, the toes together. You can do dog ears, flex one ankle, point the opposite toes or foot. Just a little action there for your ankles to get warmed up. Now I like to tuck the thumbs underneath my hips here and then slowly let your right leg come toward the floor. So this can be a small movement. Maybe your leg comes down just a bit and your left foot could be on the floor for more stability. You find the place that's right for you. I like to let my foot just hover above the floor or above the mat. Press out through your heel, flex your ankle, and then bring your foot back up. We'll do the same for the other side. So you can do a small movement. Maybe your leg changes slightly on the left side, or you bring your left foot to hover just above the mat. Feel that you're strong in that extended leg, in your left leg. You can feel some muscles working, and you might also feel some inner core muscles here working. Now come back through center. You might want to bring the feet down to the floor for a moment, windshield wiper the knees side to side. Give your hips a little bit of a break, your low back, and then we'll start again. So feet, both feet toward the sky. Remember, you could always have one foot on the floor. And you can slowly lower down just a bit, maybe a third of the way, and hold. You can bring your heels down a little bit farther. Typically, the lower your heels are, the closer to the floor, the more intense it'll feel. So just find the perfect place for you. Keep breathing, keep strengthening. Flex the ankles, press out through the heels. You got this. Maybe you stay just a moment longer if you're working on some strength. As you're ready, start to come back up through center. Those feet can come back to the floor, maybe a little windshield wiper here, knees side to side. Now, reach your fingertips forward. Lift the head, the shoulders off the floor. That's sort of step one. If you want to work the obliques a little bit differently, you're going to start to go from side to side. So right hand reaches for the right heel, come back through center, left hand to left heel. If you're looking for more intensity, lift your legs up, heels up toward the sky. And you still have that movement from right to left, from side to side. Maybe you can even feel that in your obliques, those side core muscles. Side core muscles, beautiful for bringing you into spaces where you're stable and strong. Now reach both of your fingertips forward. If you've got the heels lifted, bring your head a little closer toward your knees. And then release the whole thing, full body stretch. So toes out in front of you, fingers behind you, reach out, get tall. Now bring your arms across the chest. So right arm in front of the left, just a little stretch there for your shoulders. And you can rock the head from side to side if that feels good. Then release that side. Opposite arm comes in front now. So left arm in front of the right. Your hands are toward your shoulders, elbows up toward the sky. And then release the arms. You'll start to come up to your seat, come up into a seated position. And we're going to revisit eagle arms, and this time we'll add a little something different. Bring your arms out wide, reach up toward the sky, and then bring the right arm under the left. Find the eagle arm position right for you. And then start to bring your chin toward your shoulder, right shoulder. Come through center and then turn the opposite direction, chin in the opposite toward the left shoulder. Release, come on back through center, reach up high, and then take your eagle to the other side. So left arm underneath, find your eagle arms, position that's right for you, and then chin toward your left shoulder. So there's a little tilt, chin down. Nice little stretch here for the upper back and for the neck. Come through center, and then tilt your chin toward your right shoulder. Release, reach up toward the sky. And then let that go. Maybe you already feel a little bit more open through the neck and the shoulders. I'll come into your tabletop, so hands underneath your shoulders, knees under the hips, and start off with a flat back, a neutral spine. And then start to work some cows and cats here. So cow tilt feels like a back bend. Cat roll feels like you're rounding the spine. Move as much as you like in these cows and cats. On the inhale breath is your cow tilt. Draw the shoulders together and tip the tailbone up. On your exhale breath is a cat roll. Draw your tailbone down and feel some space between the shoulders. Now always move at your pace. No real concern if you're moving at the same time that I am. This is really about you, your practice. Now come back to neutral, nice flat back, and then press your right heel back. Keep your toes, right toes on the mat, and either press through the heel or rock a little forward and back. Now moving into tabletop balance, you'll lift your heel in line with your hip and then reach the left fingertips forward. Now, if you rather have the hand on the mat, that's perfect too. Just having the leg lifted is still doing really good work for your body, strengthening your back muscles. And release on that side. Go to the other side. So left heel presses back, toes stay on the mat, and just feel the stretch on the bottom of your foot, the back of your ankle, and your calf. Now start to work into tabletop balance. So lift the heel, and then right arm reaches forward. Imagine the spine inside your body getting really long. Fingertips reach forward and heel reaches back. So you're reaching in opposite directions, lengthening the whole body. I'll come back into your tabletop. And now from here, modified plank. So knees are on the floor. If this bothers your wrist, you can bring the elbows down and do a modified forearm plank. So notice where your hips are. You want the hips in line with the shoulders and the knees. The hips or the butt is not sticking up. And then start to come down onto your belly, preparing for baby cobra. Hands right underneath your shoulders. And then lift your head and lift your shoulders. Now think about strengthening your back here. Do you feel muscles working? Try to soften your glutes. That way the back does all the work. The glutes are not doing the work. And lift a little higher on your inhale breath. And then as you exhale, bring your head down to the floor. So next you can either do cobra or up dog. If you want to do up dog, hands closer to your waist, and then press down and lift up. So draw your shoulders back and down. Feel as if you're expanding through your chest. Press down through the tops of your feet. So you can feel this is, if you're doing up dog, this is a bit more of a bend in the spine. It doesn't feel okay for your back. Baby cobra is a better choice. Now come on down, place one hand on top of the other. You can bend your knees here and windshield wiper the knees side to side. Just a little release for the hips and the low back. Come on back through tabletop. And then from tabletop, a wide knee child's pose. So separate the knees wider than the hips. Press the hips back, reach the fingertips forward. You could always move here in your child's pose, sway the hips a little side to side, or rock your head from right to left. Nice stretch for the spine. As you're ready, come back through your tabletop. And then you're going to bring your right foot forward. So you might pop up onto your fingertips. Use your right hand to guide the foot forward until you come into a modified lunge. You could always use blocks here if that helps with stability. Now try to bring your knee right above your ankle. So if it goes past your ankle, knee goes past your ankle, walk the foot forward a little bit. Now bring your hands to your waist and stand up on that knee. So your shoulders over the hips. If you like, you can reach your arms up toward the sky. You might bring the hips a little bit lower and work a little back bend here. Look up toward the sky, mindful of how you feel. No pain whatsoever through the body. Now if you're here, your hips are low, you're working a back bend, feel the front line open. And then release your hands to the mat. Come back into your tabletop and you'll switch to the other side. So left foot comes forward. You can use your left hand to guide your left foot forward closer to the top of the mat. So it comes pretty far up. Blocks are there to assist if you want. When you feel like you've got everything stable, then stand up on your knee, hands to your waist. And that's a great place to stay. Or you can reach the arms up toward the sky. Hips might sink a little bit lower. So just notice how you feel on the front of your quads, how you feel in your hips, how you feel in your back today. If you're in that back bend, opening the front line, still engage your core, so gently pull the ribs toward one another. Now, when you're ready, you'll start to release the posture. So hands will come down toward the floor. And then you'll go back into your tabletop. Now work a little cat roll here, around the spine, feel the shoulders pull apart. Nice little counter for the back bend. And then you're coming back into your modified plank. Now what if you feel like modified plank isn't enough? Tuck the toes, lift the knees, and come into a full plank. Little micro bend in your elbows. Feel your core strong, your back strong. Lengthen out through the crown of your head, and then slowly come down to your belly. Now bring the arms beside you, and your chin or your forehead comes down to the mat. Now start to lift your right foot, right leg from the mat. So it doesn't have to lift very far, but you're working strength here in your back. Where do you feel this here? Could be in the low back or the mid back. Try to press your foot back and up as you lift just a little higher. Now release on the right side and then work the left side. So it's almost like you try to press your toes back before you even lift up. So getting some length there through the body. Feel the legs working. You may feel your hamstrings doing some work here. Engaging through your back, low back and mid back. And lifting just as high as you can, stretching out, lifting up. And the left side releases. Now you're coming to center and lifting both legs off the floor. So when you're lifting both legs, it may feel like the legs don't lift as high. It doesn't matter. You're still doing the work. You're pressing back, lifting up. Now here you may really feel work in your back. If it's painful, bring the feet back down. But if it feels like you're strengthening, stick with it. Continue to breathe. And then release. My hands come underneath the forehead and just bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet. Release tension. Now feet come down and then arms reach forward, hands reach forward. Now on your inhale breath, you'll lift your right arm so your head and your shoulders will come from off the mat as well. Try to lift your fingertips. You might press down through the left hand as you lift a little bit higher. And then as you're ready, release on that side. Bring your right cheek to rest on the mat. And then work the other side. So left arm will lift up, head and shoulders will lift as well. So often if you are reaching out through the part of your body that's farthest away from you, so your fingertips, if you reach out and up from there, you may find that you can get a little bit more lift. So working here your shoulders, your mid-back again. Release, bring your opposite cheek down to the mat, left cheek. And when you're ready, you'll come through center. And then lift both of your arms at the same time. So you don't have to lift a lot, just enough to feel work through your body. Now, if you've got both arms lifted, notice how you feel in your shoulders, notice how you feel in your mid-back. And then release. Bring the arms beside you. Bring your right cheek to the mat. Now you'll reach both of your arms forward and bring your chin or your forehead to the mat. We're going to work one arm and one leg at a time. So lift your right leg and your left arm. Right leg, left arm. So you might be pressing down through the opposite leg and arm. Remember your toes and your fingers reach a little higher through the toes and the fingers. And then release, come down to the mat. Bring your left cheek to the mat. Now work the other side. So on your inhale breath, left leg, right arm lifts up. Feel strength here. Press down into the earth with the opposite arm and leg. And lift a little bit higher. Lift up through the extremities, the toes and the fingers. Lift higher on the inhale. And then as you exhale, come down, opposite cheek to the mat. Bring your right cheek to the mat. So the really hard part, we're going to do everything at once. So with the inhale, lift your arms and lift your legs. If this isn't working for you, hands could come down, legs could come down. If you're feeling it here, reach out through the fingertips and lift. Reach out through the toes and lift. So strong here, soaring like Superman. Release it all, bring the arms to the side, left cheek to the mat. If you want to here, you could always bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet side to side. Lots of work for your back. Now you'll press into your tabletop and then back into child's pose. So I like wide knee child's pose. Feel free to do more traditional with your knees closer together. Now from your child's pose, you're going to start to walk your hands over toward the left. So as far over as you can. And think about really reaching the right fingertips up and over. Right shoulder toward the mat or toward the floor. Right side body gets a nice stretch, a little bend through your spine. Make your way back through center, and then take that stretch on the other side. So reach over toward the right, giving a lot of attention to the left arm. So reaching up and over through the left fingertips. Stretch the left side of your body. And come on back through center. Make your way into tabletop. Now you're going to come to standing. So I'm going to go through downward facing dog, but if that's not good for you, you can skip it. From your tabletop, tuck your toes, lift the hips, and then work that down dog. You can pedal it out here, walk your dog, bend one knee and then the other. You can sway the hips side to side, wag your tail. Just get long through your back, long through the back of your legs. Press down through your knuckle pads. And then start to walk the hands back to meet the feet. A little bit of work here for your arms. Fold forward for a moment. Let the head drop. And then start to make your way up to standing. Stand up tall. Think about mountain. Draw the shoulders back. Engage the core. Now coming into Warrior Two, you're going to come so that you're facing the long edge of your mat, and then separate your feet wider than your hips, so maybe just a little bit wider. Rotate your right toes out, and then put a bend in your knees. Hands start off at your hips. So if that felt like it wasn't wide enough of a stance for you, separate your feet a little wider, and then try again. And notice if your shoulder comes forward, you want to bring the shoulders over the hips, knee right over your ankle. Remind your spine to be long and tall. And then reach out through your fingertips. You can also gaze over your right fingertips here. So legs are strong in Warrior Two, core is engaged, and then your arms are working here. So feel your triceps and your biceps start to engage. A little subtlety here, shoulder blades gently pull toward one another and down. Now reverse your triangle, straighten the front leg, flip the palm, and then start to reach up toward the sky with that right hand. Maybe reach back behind you. That left hand can just slide down your left leg. Feel that connection to the side body stretch. Super long here. Maybe looking up toward the sky. Feel rooted through your feet. I'll start to come back into Warrior Two. So this is not a very long hold. You might bring the hips a little bit lower in this Warrior Two. Feel the legs strengthening. And then change. Rotate your toes forward. Now we'll play on the other side. So think about where the distance is between your feet. So a little bit less, bring your feet closer together. If you're looking for more intensity, feet a little bit wider apart. Level your hips here. Stack your spine, and then extend through your arms. So much is going on in this Warrior Two pose, lots of strengthening. Now feel as if you're pulling your feet toward one another. Feel the way that changes the way you engage your muscles. Feel the low belly pull in, knit the ribs together, lower ribs pull toward one another. Feel that your arms are active in this warrior pose, and then lengthen through your neck. So as the hips sink low, crown of the head reaches high. Lower the hips just a little bit more. Feel the work. Start to change, straighten that front leg. Left arm reaches high to reverse the triangle. Maybe the arm reaches behind you. So thinking about that stretch, you're rooting down here. Left toe mounds press into the earth. And then you lengthen from that space all the way up to your fingertips. Reach just a little bit more. And then as you're ready, begin to release back into that Warrior Two. So remember, you are building strength here. Sink the hips low, engage the core. as you're ready, you'll start to release Warrior Two. You can heel toe your feet together. You can hop your feet together. No, don't do that. Keep your legs wide and come into a wide-legged forward fold. So a little bit of adjusting here. If you are very open in the back line, you'll bring your feet a little closer together so your head is not touching the floor. You can bend into the knees here if you like. It's really just a little recovery after your warriors. And start to come back up to standing, and now you can heel toe the feet together or hop the feet together. Working on a little bit of balance, so you can turn to the top of your mat, take your hands to your waist, shift your weight into your left foot, and then start to lift your right foot from the floor. So that's a lot. You can always go to a wall and hold on to a wall for a little more balance. You could place a block underneath your toes here and then just flex the ankle and lift away from the block when you're feeling strong. Now, if you're not using the block, try to lift your knee as high as your hip, flex your ankle, and stand up tall. You're balancing in stork. And release on that side. Shift the weight, so right foot takes the weight, left knee bends. Using the block if you like, just lifting the toes when you're feeling balanced. Maybe you lift all the way off of the block. So balance, really important to the body. It takes a fair bit of core strength to stand in balance. Remember to breathe as you're balancing. Steady breaths. And then release on that side. So we'll do stork again, but this time option to add a little something with the arms. So when you're ready, bring your hands to your waist. Start by lifting the right leg. Use a block if you want. And then, of course, we'll add some eagle arms. So bring your right arm underneath the left. Maybe the hands come to the shoulders. Maybe they come together. You can lift the elbows in line with the shoulders, and it might feel like you're getting a deeper stretch on your upper back. So you've added the arms. This may have added challenge to your balance. Now release the arms, reach up high, and then step it out. Bring your foot to the mat and prepare for the other side. So bend your knee first, come into stork, and find stability before you move at all. When you're ready, let's start to work into eagle arms. This time left arm comes underneath. So find the variation or the version of eagle that works best for you. Now feel how the core is engaging here to keep you standing upright. The legs are strong, the lifted leg and the grounded leg. And then notice how your upper back feels. Shoulders are right over the hips, and you're just feeling, if you've got the eagle arms, a little bit of a stretch. Release the arms, reach up toward the sky. And then let your foot come onto the mat. Maybe a little bit of movement after all of that balancing. Find your mountain, stand up tall. Now start to make your way onto the mat. Feet out in front of you. And then flex the ankles. And start to walk forward with a flat back. So draw your shoulders back. And maybe walk forward a little bit more, but keep the back straight and long. Maybe reach for your ankles or the sides of your feet. Still long through the spine. Now inhale the breath. And as you exhale, you might begin to round. So allow the head to come toward the shins or toward the knee. Now if you've got a grip here, if your hands are on the ankles or maybe the feet, you can use a little arm strength to pull yourself deeper. Sometimes I like to pull the toes back toward me, and that feels like the back line gets more of a stretch. So you find that space where you feel like you're giving your body what it needs. Now notice after a few breaths how your body starts to allow you to go deeper into the pose. Some of the stress goes away. Feels just a little more comfortable. Feel the back of your legs. Feel space in your low back. start to walk yourself out. Begin to lift your upper body. And then you'll start to work into some variations of butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees just fall toward the earth. If that feels uncomfortable for your hips, you can always grab some blocks or blankets and place them under the knees or the thighs. So find the butterfly from the waist down that's right, and then we'll work eagle arms. So start with the right arm under the left, your variation of eagle. Then you can start to bow, elbows come down toward the floor. Now, if it feels more comfortable to stay upright, then that's also good. You can stay with your spine stacked and still feel a little something through the shoulders and the hips. Start to lift the upper body, unwind the arms, reach up, and then you'll take your eagle on the other side. So left arm comes underneath. Find the position that's right for your shoulders. Begin to lift your elbows. And then as you are ready, begin to round forward. So just creating space through your spine every time you come into a forward fold. Notice how your hips feel as the knees fall toward the earth, opening through your hips. You might feel this through your inner thighs. Now when you are ready, you'll start to release. You'll start to lift back up, stacking your spine, unwinding the arms, reaching up high. Now starting to come into a more standard butterfly pose. Nice straight spine. Begin to bend from your hips and lean forward. So just like you did in the forward fold, take a moment to stay with a tall spine, a stacked spine. And then when it's right for you, round forward. So here you might hold on to your toes or your ankles as you ever so gently pull yourself deeper. So it's really your third butterfly pose. Maybe the hips feel a little more open at this point. Soften through the glutes. Just allow the opening, the stretch to come into your body. Now begin to walk yourself back up. And then you can release. You might want a little bit of movement. Maybe pedal it out just a little bit. And then you're coming onto your back. You're going to recline fully. Now once you are on your back, you might want a little movement. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then extend the legs, working into wind removing. So just the right side first. Bring your right knee toward your chest. You can interlace your fingers on top of the shin or the knee. You could also bring your hands behind your knee on the back of your thigh. Now flex the ankles of both legs. Feel active through your legs, still working. And then release. Right foot comes down. Bring your left knee toward your chest. And then find the grip that's right for you on this side. Now, feel like your arms are doing some work here, but your legs, your hips really aren't. So you're pulling with your arm strength. Stretching. You may feel a little stretch on your low back. And then release that side. Come into full wind removing, so both knees to the chest. Hands could be behind your knees or on top of the knees. So here, a little bit of work. Pull with your arm strength and press with your leg strength. So feel like you're pulling and pressing. Flex the ankles. And you can release that grip. Maybe move the knees side to side or draw circles with your knees. And let your feet come to the floor. Prepare for a supine twist. So scoot your hips just a little toward the right. Knees come into your chest. Left hand guides your knees toward the left. Now I straightened out the bottom leg, the left leg, because that feels better for my body, but you can keep both knees bent, one knee on top of the other if you prefer. Arms can be out wide. You can keep your left hand on your right knee if that helps the twist feel just a little bit deeper. I'll soften here through the shoulders. Feel that little twist through your back, through your spine. And then start to change. Come on back through center, adjust through hips through center. And then scoot your hips toward the left. Knees come toward the chest. Right hand guides the knees over. Either both knees stay bent or you can extend the bottom leg. This time it's going to be the right leg. And then just find the perfect spot. Allow yourself to surrender to the posture. This twist takes very little effort. It's really more about arranging your body into a certain shape and then just softening into that shape. Let the twist come to you rather than forcing your body into something. Start to come on back through center, adjust the hips, move a little bit here if you'd like. So take any kind of movement you like before Shavasana. Might feel good to take a happy baby, rock a little side to side, or maybe you're ready to immediately come into your Shavasana. Now Shavasana pose, traditionally the legs are straight, feet separate wide, arms are wide, palms up. I like to walk the shoulder blades in just a little bit. Feel the shoulders flatten against the mat. So take a moment to get comfortable. If you like a prop here, maybe a cushion underneath your knees, maybe a blanket if you're a little bit chilly, come into a space where you're very comfortable. Once you find that sense of comfort, come back into your breath. Maybe think about the calm that you felt from the Nadi Shodhana breath, the way the mind begins to slow down and quiet. Connect to your body after all of that movement, a lovely combination of stretching and strengthening. The body is ready to be at rest. The body is ready to be still. Allow yourself to connect with and tap into that stillness. Feeling the effects of your practice. Feel easy, rest easy. Shavasana is a very important part of your yoga practice. As long as mind and body stay in that peaceful state, you stay just as you are. Give yourself this gift, this opportunity to be still, to be free. Stay here just a little bit longer if you like. It's always such an honor for you to invite me into your space to share a yoga practice. Namaste.